Hey Leo, look what's there. I feel it. It's time. It's time for us. Back in fire. Come on. Come on. Good tings. Good tings, please. You guys, I think you guys are probably in the same boat as me because I have personally counseled one Leo. Um, and I'm glad I had that opportunity. I hope he's doing better if you're watching this. Um, but man, oh man. Ooh. Strength card was face up this morning when I was doing some stuff on my own, and it's like, yep, today's the day. Oh, okay. So, if you guys are also having some detours on your new paths, I understand. I'm right there with you. You guys are trying to make it happen, and there's just some cosmic friction. That is Mercury in retro. It's not lasting, forever, but it is going to be another 10 days. So, well, depending on when I post this, it's the 26th right now. So, excuse me, comes out of retro late December 6th. Maybe we'll say the 7th. We'll say the 7th is good. Oh, what? Okay, now this worries me. We got the exact same cards in Cancer, different order. Okay. So I'm going to talk about myself personally. I don't know what it is I'm missing currently. I feel like the person that counsels me was hinting at something, and I don't know what. I don't know what it is I'm not doing, what I'm not seeing, you know? And it really has to do with everything that we're trying to make happen right now. This huge turn in another direction, a really good direction, what we've been wanting to do. We're making this move, whatever that is to you. There's something that we don't know for ourselves, something essential to this change. Maybe it's the Aries in Sag season. That's what's in our house. We need some help. We need some guidance. Just think like a kid. Okay. Oh, gotta love it. Okay, so we'll leave that there. So, Seven of Pentacles. Is that what we just don't know? That this complacency, this unease, this like seasonal depression almost is kind of keeping us from knowing. We're not seeing clearly. We're not thinking clearly. We don't feel great right now in the midst of us trying to make our future happen. And I almost feel like, why are we selling ourselves short? I think that's what the person was trying to tell me. Now that it's coming, it's been in the back of my mind, but I think that's what's showing up here, is why are we not just going in every direction? Wheel of Fortune. We have to surrender to fate with this card. We have to put ourselves all in. All of your chips in. Put it all in. Sag season. We're betting it all. It's risky, but hey, it can hella pay off. We want to be really good coming in the new year. I know it. I'm dreaming about this new year and being where I want to be. I want to be there so bad. I want to be there so bad. So the tricky act right now is not becoming so lethargic, so melancholic about this. Oh, okay. Um, because of the delay, because of us not knowing exactly what it is that can pull us out of this dreary sense, this nagging feeling that this pessimism. You know, I've been using that word a lot lately, and I think I've been using it because I kind of feel a little bit of that, and I just don't know at how much do I need to be doing versus how much do I need to be putting in my own time. You know, it's a really weird thing to juggle, you know, because I'm somebody that is very dedicated, a very hard worker. I have a very hardworking ethic. Um, and I thank my parents a lot for that. You know, their generation was so committed, and that was just such a big thing for them, and it really rubbed off on me as just, you know, do it seriously. Whatever you do, give it your all. But it's tough to know when to act and when to wait, and it's really hard to see things clearly when we um, are feeling that that wave of sadness. If you're constantly like switching it to some dreary like Smith songs, you know, if you constantly kind of are changing your vibe, like I've been doing this thing where I'm trying to play peppy music, but I don't know if it's a seasonal depression thing that happens with me, but I just keep like going to a little more like slower stuff, and maybe that's happening for you guys. Um, and it's really hard to make your dreams a reality when you know it's just so hard to get out of bed in the morning. You know what I mean? It's like to feel that energy. We're not feeling it, but the wheel of fortune is turning. So typically, when it's face up, it's turning in our favor. So this is the time. Luck. This is the luckiest season, you guys. Sagittarius represents luck. Ace of Swords. It's coming for us. That victory, that moment, that aha thing, you know, that epiphany, this thing that's keeping us from knowing everything, High Priestess reverse, it's coming for us. And then once it does, we can make it all happen. There is something that we have got to realize here. There is a key that we have misplaced, and we have got to find it ASAP. We have got to find this key. It's going to unlock so much for us. Um, who knows? You may stumble upon it. You may see it shimmering. And, you know, the work stuff, I'm going to pull some more for that because I think the things we want so bad, if we want it to look a certain way, we may have to defer to, you know, well, what's presenting itself as opposed to us sticking to our guns and, you know, it has to be the thing. This may be the time for us to really, really take on a different kind of a fire in Sag season. You know, us fixed fire, like we move in a very precise manner. We want it to look a certain way. You know, it's got to look that way because then we know we can feel it. You know, we're such visionaries in our heads and in our hearts, you know? Like it's just it has to be wholesome. Like it has to be so truthful. And our truth is what's happening in our fantasy land inside of our minds, and our playground inside of our minds. That's the truth. And so when it doesn't look like that, we have a tendency to just ignore it, or to just keep holding on to that vision even stronger. It actually strengthens us when we see obstacles. And that's why, we just don't back down from challenges, because we know that once a situation is over, we're going to feel better about ourselves because we faced it. Um, Cheers. So, Page of Cups, though, man, there are things happening that we just aren't noticing. What is it that we're so blind to? You know? Do we want to notice it? Especially if it's love here, you know. I don't want to get us excited or anything because it's reversed. But if there's this need, or if you're trying to work towards love of some kind, it's getting away from you, or you're getting away from what the focus is right now. And I think when we see fire, it's of the self. We're turning back around and we're looking in the mirror. It's us. We're on the table, not anyone else. This isn't about anyone else. No. We're okay. So we're running away from making decisions because we can't see things as clearly as usual. We don't feel that internal knowing, that strong intuition that just can't be denied. We're doubting ourselves. We're really doubting ourselves. Hangman, reverse. And we're kind of making ourselves a mockery right now. Like, people are literally laughing at us because we have just, well, okay. We're just going in all directions. And people just don't see what it is that we're looking for, or what it is that we need, even though we're saying it time and time again. So, where are we headed, and what are we looking for? Because if we're aimlessly wandering, these aren't page cards. We did get a Page of Cups, but Knight of Cups, what are we looking for? Are we looking for love to fill the void, to fill this sadness, to make it a little easier? They're not going to make decisions for us. They're not going to make this easier. They're not going to pick the thing for us. We're just going to get farther away from what it is that we need to act on. Knight of Wands. We're not sure of our mission. We're not sure of where we should be headed spiritually. We don't know which road to take that's going to lead to the most growth. And for me, there's only one road. And maybe you guys feel that way too. There's one road. So the realization I had earlier is that I shouldn't limit myself to the one road. That's what it is. Hierophant. He knows. High Priestess, she really knows. But Hierophant is more so an advisor. So if you guys, need to reach out to somebody to give you counsel, to hear you, if anything, not to give advice, but at least to listen, now's the time. Now's the time to take that moment. That person that you trust, if it's religion for you, do it. Um, King of Swords, a very, very wise person that moves, very swift but very carefully. Possibly a male air sign. If this is the way that you see the Taurus, that he wins all of his battles, then yes, that's how I usually see Taurus. Or even Libra. Libra is an air sign. So Venus energy, um, right there. So what is that saying? Um, the justice will come when we really listen, when we really open our eyes, when we really see the truth. Um, it looks like the beginning of Sag, there's a lot of hurdles to jump through. Um, and you're just kind of surrendering. You're just like, I can't do this on my own. I've got to let fate do its thing, which is good. I mean, it looks like that's what needs to happen here, because we don't even have the stamina, the endurance right now to make the things happen on our own. There's just so much astrologically that's happening that's causing this little hiccup. Um, and then it's like we have this great magic, Nine of Cups, and then we divert it into something that isn't benefiting us at all. That's actually making things more convoluted. Um, that makes us question everything and run from an absolution. Um, Hangman upside down. It's like, he's dangerous when he's right side up, but when he's upside down, man, um, you don't know what it is that you're looking for. There's just so much misdirection. You're giving this choice or this decision so much power, and that you are just not even facing it because you're just so afraid of how it's going to affect you, um, especially karmically. The karmic cards are lined up right here: Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Cups, and Justice. So what frightens you the most is, how does your karma look, you know? Because we've been taking a different approach as of late, and um, it feels like we're moving backwards. Like the wheel is spinning counterclockwise. But that's not what's really happening. That's what we're convincing ourselves of. There's this self doubt that's coming in, like heavy, heavy, heavy. Um, but I think it would really behoove all of us to ask for advice, to ask for another perspective, um, you know, for no nonsense, but like legit, like, what do I need to do kind of question, like big stuff. And it doesn't mean that you have to take someone else's word, but it means that you need to be open to hearing other people's points of view, because we get so wrapped up in our fantasy land. We're very much like Pisces in that regard, except for Pisces are so sensitive they can't help but feel what's around them, so they quickly, you know, move from fantasy to this person and that, and then they're just all over the place. Um, we are so fantasy land. We're living like this movie, and we can think of it as like a 3D movie, and we really, really forget to take those 3D glasses off and realize that, oh my God, there's people sitting right next to us that, have an investment in this movie too. Um, and then they have their own feedback, their own take of it, like their own perception. And I think that it would be really beneficial to find out what it is that they're seeing. What are the differences? What are the nuances that they're noticing that you guys may be overlooking? What are the details that they're paying attention to? Because it really takes um, someone else sometimes to tell you, especially when you don't know for yourself. Whoa. Okay. Um, all right. So I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna do all of these here. I may reshuffle. Yeah, there's a moon. Okay. Tower. Let's reshuffle here. If these cards really needed to come up, they will again. Could have just been some butterfingers there. So Leo, what else? What else do we have here? I've talked like twice as long for some of these other signs here, and then I have like the shortest video for my own sign. Um, Not that I should be biased, but okay. There we go. There's a clear card for us. Too much is not a good thing when we're trying to make dreams a reality here. That's what can be holding us up. Um, you can't balance this. How can you balance 10 wands? You can't. um, Maybe asking for help's the only way, you know? What do we feel so burdened about, And I don't think it's other people are putting it on us. I think this is ourselves. Like, we just don't know how not to take on the things that are right in front of us. Like, yeah, that's fire, you guys. It's like, there's a moment, we're going to take it. So, ooh, okay. This is what we want to see, though. So, for this move, we started with a move here. Four of Wands reversed, High Priestess not knowing. And we end it. I kind of want to make this the end here because it would be like this start to finish puzzle. And it's a perfect, like I'll show you guys. Yes, it can be overwhelming. Yes, you have to push yourself harder than you ever have before to make this happen. And a little luck is involved, Wheel of Fortune. But you really, really have to surrender here. You really have to do it differently. You can't only listen to yourself. Even if you think you know what's best, even if you do know what's best, it's really important to get out of your own head. Because I think the moment you do, the moment it'll come back to you, the moment you filter a little bit, you'll have that moment. Like it's when you stop caring about the things that are just oppressive. If the job has really gotten you down, if you feel like the job clouds your judgment and it's holding you up, I see that here. And I think you just can't let it distract you. And if there's a new hobby, a new venture, there's something that you are putting time in and it's just not paying off, It could be literally paying off. Seven of Pentacles, that's a lot of Pentacles. You're earning stuff more so than usual. Um, but Page of Cups, we're getting out of touch with ourselves. We're feeling a little lost emotionally. Um, and a lot of confusion. Mars and Pisces. Very, very confusing aspect. It's like this is a time for action, but it's all clouded right now. We're really feeling that. Um, and I guess because Pisces falls in our eighth house of transformation, right? When we transform, we do it to the T. We like take on a full coat. It's like it's like when you have a shaved cat, you know? It just can't help but be noticed when that cat gets shaved, or when it reveals itself, when it comes out, and you're like, oh my god, you had a cat this whole time. And you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden everyone's loving on it, and it's just feeling so good. It's getting all the pets and all the bukus, and you're getting selfies with it and stuff, and it's just so proud and regal. And that's Leo energy, folks. It goes from a really dark place, and it pounces, it grabs what it wants, what it needs, it chooses very precisely. That's why we have claws, because when we go after something, we don't let go of it, we hang on to it. um, it's That's fixed stuff for you guys. um, and we don't need anyone else, and that's why cats are so damn independent. And they're like, you can't get a cat to come out when you want it to. It's not like a dog. It's not feeding off of what you give it. It's this total independent entity that just can't be tamed. It's like you just kind of have to let it do its thing. Hey, if it comes around, then we were lucky to have that time, and then otherwise, just give it food and water and attention when it wants, but let it be. Let it do its thing. Give it a nice cozy nook, a good spot by the window. It'll probably be at most of the time. Um, but yeah, so where was I going with that? So we had some major arcana towards the end there, and then Ten of Cups, ending it on a great note, you guys. I'm really happy about that. I think once we get past this Mercury in retro, I don't know how long this Mars in Pisces is going to last, but Mercury in retro, come the 7th. 7 has been a big number for me, more so um, the number 23. If anyone else is going through that, it's driving me insane, but in a good way, weirdly. But I'm literally seeing it everywhere. It's my actual day I was born, August 23rd, but I've never noticed something as often as I do this number as of late. Um, so please message me if you are too. I would love to hear someone else that's going through that, but maybe that's the secret that I need to, or that's the thing that I'm missing that I need to know about more. Um, but Ten of Cups, yes, it seems like a lot. Of course it does. But there are great things. What is it? Uh, what's that Spider-Man quote? It's like, with great power comes great responsibility. So super corny there. Rip Stan Lee. Um, but it's true. you know Great power means that we're blessed, we're lucky to have that strength that we do. But yes, it can seem like such a burden sometimes to always have to be the one to act and to take charge and to guide everyone else. It can seem like a burden, but I think more often than others, our pride comes out, and that's where we really find ourselves, or in those moments where we can not feel like we've been hiding. We reveal ourselves in our full strength in those moments. Like we're acting as like this bigger thing when those moments come into our lives where we have to take charge and stand up. Um, and that's so uplifting. And I think it's beautiful for others to witness. It's hard to say because I'm the one doing it, so I can't see myself in those moments. You know, but I see it in movies, and I've met Leos over the years, and I do think there's this grand cinematic thing that happens when we do that, and it just can't be denied. And it's just like a cat's presence just can't be denied. You know, it's just so stunning, and it's so regal, and it's just you can't dominate it. It's just impossible, no matter how hard you try, no matter like what you think you got from them in the moment. Leos, like, we are just infinitely dominant, we're infinitely boss, but not in a way that challenges other people constantly, in a way that is more um, inner confidence. And it's great when it comes out, and it doesn't come out often, though. That's the thing, is like, there is this way of us revealing ourselves. I feel like most days there's clouds in the sky, and it's blocking that sun most of the time. In summer, when it gets to our season, that sun is a lot brighter, a lot stronger. You feel the heat, but most of the time it's a cloudy sky, and it has to be for a reason, because the impact of those moments has to be impactful. It has to be big. So when we peer through that inertia, um, all the haze, we really really stand apart, but in a unifying way. I don't know where I'm going with everything, but maybe that's Sag mind. It's like I'm sure I'm having revelations, but it may seem like nonsense. Um, and it's true. I don't know where I'm going with everything. Knight of Cups reversed, Knight of Wands reversed. You guys don't either. And we're just we're letting it happen. But just don't get discouraged, okay? Um, yes, we're really trying here, and it's very, very demanding. But that's transformation, folks. It's like the dreams that we have are worth it. They're worth the demands. They're worth doing everything that's required to get to where we want to be. Because damn, it looks so good. Ten of Cups. We'll see the rainbow. So I'm excited. No, this is not an easy season for us, but it's fire. It's something we know. We can flex those muscles. We know what they are. We can shake it, hips, you know. But it's just important to find that voice again. And I think listening to others first and letting them give you their version, you'll get back in touch with your own. Um, but don't rush it, you know? So let it come to you. And just don't get so down in the meantime. Yep, we have to re-envision what it is that we want going into the new year, because I want us all the Leos out there, to be so stoked for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, whatever. 2019, the year of the pig. Like, good fortune for everyone is coming. And Wheel of Fortune has been one of the cards for me this year. Huge. I've seen it so much, but it has been a little while since I've seen it, so I'm very, very pleasantly surprised to see it here again. It's like the one card out of all of them that I would be willing to get a tattoo of because it's just so there's just so much going on there and it's just really cool. It's like it's kind of the reminder that like life is like a game. I've always kind of told myself that over the years. And it's a game of luck, but also of work, also of emotion, also like all these elements there. They're all at play and it's constantly spinning. And you never know what it's going to land on. Every day is a different day. But you're yourself through all of it. And you're all those things simultaneously. And that's what it's so existential. I don't know that card. It's all encompassing. I think that's what I like about it. But yeah. So I'm not worried. Yes, it seems worrying, but we can find ourselves through this. The end of Sag season looks really good here. If we make it, um, not if we make it, we're not dying, but we really have to get out of that mindset where we're only listening to ourselves because we don't know what it is we're even saying right now, you know? We just keep getting slowed down. But there's a reason for it. There's always a reason. I believe that. Okay, so I will see you guys next season.